What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's Garlic Potential YouTube channel with another video in the Mind, Body, and Soul series. Now, excuse the blue lips. I just drank a pre-workout. Sitting outside the gym, and I got a little insight that I want to talk about. So before I came here, I was in a meditation, and the thought of me back when I was in high school appeared when I was in a welding class. So I took welding in high school. And I was curious as to why it popped up. It was just random, but I knew it could be metaphorical for something, you know? It could be analogous to something. And so on further examination of it, I started to piece the puzzle together. Because the past few days, I've pretty much been kind of confused on my journey. Been kind of lost, you can say. Or not lost, just a little disoriented, I guess you can say, in the past few days. And so, thinking about that and what I did to get out of that funk, and thinking about this whole welding scenario, it all clicked to me. So, in case those of you who don't know, when you're welding, how it works is you get like this electric, like pliers, kind of. They almost look like a little clamps you would put to jump start a car, put on the battery. It looks like that. It's hooked up to electricity, and you use like a welding rod, and that looks like a real thick ass incense, pretty much, but it's made out of some type of material. Not too sure. So you have the little clamp, the little big ass incense looking thing, as well as you have this hood that you wear over your head, and it has a tinted window on it. Now, this hood with this tinted window is there so you can see what you're doing once you strike the rod or whatever, to get the welding started, so you won't go fucking blind and you can see where you're going. So thinking about welding and a situation I was just in, it dawned on me. Okay, I see what it's analogous to. See, when you're on your journey, you might become lost or just confused along the way as to what the next step is, because you have so many fucking options. What you have to do is pretty much go dark. What I mean by go dark is cut off all the external shit. Cut off the phones, cut off the TV, all the little distractions, all the little background noise, all the little background music you listen to. You got to cut it all off and pretty much focus on what's going on inside, the internal voice. You got to go within. Because before you start welding, this is what you do. You get your two slabs of metal or whatever. You got them set up at an angle. You're looking at where you want to go. You know where you want to go. But right before you start on that path, what you got to do is you got to press the rod against where you want to start, and then you got to drop the hood. Now, you can't see when you first drop the hood. Everything's pitch fucking black, and the little window you got is tinted. The only time you can see is once you strike that fucking rod and it sparks up, and then you can start welding. You start your welding process. Because once you start welding, it's extremely bright. It's like a flashbang, or like a flash on the camera. It's bright as shit, and it burns at an extremely high temperature. Now with the hood, you can see your patterns you're making, where you're going, and if you're in the right spot. Without the hood, you couldn't see shit, because you would probably see the first spark, but then staring at it, you will eventually go blind. You ever like looked into the sun or looked into a bright light all of a sudden, or somebody flash a flashlight in your face, and after, as soon as it's over, you can barely fucking see everything, just so fucking damn near blind for a few seconds. Well, the same thing would happen with that if you were to stare at that. And the same thing happens along your journey when you don't go dark, when you're so worried about the next step, that shit will blind you, or you get distracted by everything. That shit blinds you as well, or it deafens you so you can't even hear the inner voice. So gotta go dark, just like in welding. Don that fucking helmet with that tinted window, because once you go dark, then you can see your path. It'll become clearer, just like with welding. You can see the path after you strike that rod. You can then see it following that fucking light. So go dark. If you're confused along your journey, go dark and you'll see the path. You will hear that inner voice once again, and it will lead you to the next step. But that is all for this Mind, Body, and Soul episode. Peace.